last days.
Abanawa Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabaraka Thumb. Kwame Yasharala. Give them something they could dance to. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my friends is on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my friends is on. Yeah, never leave home without my friends is on. And book of Numbers 15 and 38 is shown. I'll be posted where I'm all throughout a generation. When you got them on, you set apart from these other nations. Gotta let your light shine, let them know it's on. When the 1/3 awaken, we'll be going home. Got all my friends is with my Z's and they hanging long. When I run into my Akium, they hollering Shalom. So I never leave home without my friends is on. If I go and hit the mall, I got my friends is on. Even if I'm going to a ball, I got my friends is on. With the border blue ribbon and the all white linen on. I don't feel right if I ain't got them on. Like a pair of shoes, there's no excuse to leave them home. So you never catch me out without my friends is on. Cause we the church, got them on my garment and on every shirt. Yeah, never leave home without my friends is on. Yup, never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my friends is on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my friends is on.
Yeah, my fringes, I be rocking, I be stomping, never stopping, merely rocking. Why you acting out of pocket? Why you gotta do that? Keep commandments easy peasy, it ain't greedy. Keep it flowing like some gravy, do the work. I ain't lazy. Keep commandments understanding, never slacking. You'll never ever catch me with the eyes. Always giving my praises to Holy Father Abba. Catch me in the streets with my fringes on.
Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my friends is on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my friends is on. Yeah.
Never leave home without my fringes. You won't never catch me lacking cause I'm always representing. Got fake Jews all up in they feelings. Yeah, I see you staring at me. I suggest you mind your business on. Never let swine touch my lips. So if you eat pork, baby, you can never kiss them. Only fools say your how it don't exist. Man, this word like a sword, spit your soul from your spirit. You ain't keeping all the laws, don't you hit my phone. I ain't Rodney King, I don't wanna get along. I done told the slave master I ain't working on the Sabbath. Written soul French all up on my uniform. Cry loud, spare not wisdom with the knowledge. I can't sugarcoat it for you, I ain't Willy Wonka. Drip so hard, baby, this that holy water. And it's Kwame Yasharala till we hit the coffin. Ooh.
Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my friends is on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my friends is on. Yeah. Give them something they could dance to. Give them something they could dance to. Remember, never leave home without your friends is on. Yeah.
Because the picture of dry bones in the valley is talking about you. The picture of Lazarus laying dead 4 days is talking about you. You're Lazarus. You're the dry bones. You're the prodigal son. You're the lost sheep. You're the people about whom the Bible is speaking who will stand up in the last day when the trumpet is sounded. Black people are waking up. Black people are standing up. Black people are rising up and they're throwing sight into that knee-shaking white man.
I keep on having visions that they put me in the auction, a runaway slave till they put me in the coffin. Tears in my eyes with a noose around my neck, screaming Kwam Yasharala right before my last breath. I can't believe my eyes, cause I'm seeing life distorted. The princess in chains while the servants drive Porsche. He ain't want the baby, so she had an abortion. Grown men walking around in women's clothing. The door to Zion is acting like whores. Remove this cup for me, cause I can't take this shit no more. 1611 got a sharp under my sword. Living in the third day, it's gonna be a holy war. Lope up at my table in the presence of my enemies. Talk behind my back, but they don't keep that same energy. Tell me how you real, but you got them fake tendencies. Manipulating scriptures, you ain't nothing but a Pharisee. Got me suicidal, cause I can't tell my friends from my rivals. Gotta keep my rifle right next to my Bible. Father, please forgive me for my sins and wicked ways. I know I violated on that covenant we know I have. Picture in the day we see a solar eclipse and watch it how I shall walk over that water in Flint. Cause it's time for revenge, that's what I read in Revelations. And we don't want no money, we need blood reparations.
I mean that, cause these white folks see us as thugs. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think you a lawyer, if you a man, if you an African American, if you whatever you think you are. We thugs against these motherfuckers. You know? And until we lose, I'ma call it like it is. I just wanna be a man and start. You know? And we talk about 5 different houses, think a man and he's one motherfucker.
I'm Nat Turner on this beat, Dutty Bookman flow. Oppression and poverty while you slay my people though. Y'all dirty pigs, gotta pay for what y'all did. Y'all fed the babies to gators, remember gator betas. I call it now with ladies because revenge is sweet. Y'all heard my fathers from the tree, cause they look like me. But letter to my dog, man, I ate a cone. Just like Cole, you could call him as I run a spoons. My scripture break his bones, and then it make you strong. We study it for hours, this word ain't for no cowards. We building us some soldiers, it wake you up like Folgers. We prophesying wins, we looking for the wins. Cause we don't take no L's, we coming up from hell. My scriptures ain't for sale, my soul is never sold, and I will never fold. Woman on deodorant, fluoridated water. Children on the street, selling bodies for a quarter. Fringed up with my beard, meet you on my head. I look around, see a lot of spirits dead. I see the demons talking, I hear the spirits chirping. I see the spirits walking, I see my people hurting. You looking at the sons of the true and living God. Weak Edomites run the world, something nah. Teach my hands to fight, and please prepare my spirit. Banging for our power until the people hear.
I sit alone in my four-corner room staring at candles. No, literally menorahs, all this OGs I see. Staying lit like the light of Zion, that's all I be on. Karash and Yatazachaaq, passion, eat them peons and make it look so damn good when we slide through. Can't see the shoes up under my garment, it's like we glide through. Really, shame in these shade-faced cavemen. Every other day we wake up Jake in different raiment. I'm just saying, boys hotter than corduroy in the Trans-Sahara. On that night, come and walk by us, I guarantee we'll tell you not one word will ever fail you. All we do is prophesy. While your pastor eating pork chops and telling lies. I can tell by your mentality that you probably know. Ask you if you got it with fringes, you saying probably no. Obedience is better than sacrifice, so we stay on par. The same reason Zaquan Matata call me Basadar. You still don't get it? Better move boy, we them rude boys ain't no bullshit. Repent or get your wig split. Hold the Torah open, let me show you what I stand on. Thinking we ain't keeping commandments, boy, you dead wrong. Back to the place where commandments can only get us what you talking about. Edomite with us, now you can't come with us. It's a closed party, only march to the Ahrahyahla gon' enter there. 12 gates with no white people. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And it's a celebration. Salute to the light of Zion. Kwam Yasharahla. 12 tribes of Yasharahla. Be obedient to the Most High God. Keep the law, statutes, commandments. Keep the light of Zion burning bright. Kwam Yasharahla. Isaiah 8:20. Law, statutes, commandments. Faith in the Messiah. Kwam.
Bashem Yahawashai. Bashem Yahawashai. True sides. Drawing the swords, hitting the bows, severing thumbs, and head toes. Beheading kings, as in the times of old. Swing on the women and children, silver and gold. The fishermen that put away the fishing poles. In very small numbers, Yahweh sent forth his hunters. Strong towers they conquer, over walls they jump, over heads they stumped, over heads they stumped. This is the hunt. This is the almighty power revenge that make mighty men cower within. By his mighty hand we been brought up out of this land. This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger, just take the messages. listening? Are you listening?
This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger, just take the messages.
Are you listening? Open up your ears!
This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger, just take the messages.
MYMG, LOZ, AOI. Pay attention.
I pray. Yeah. Yes, I pray. Hey, yeah. I pray to y'all that one day my people see them chariots spreading the word in them streets, but my people not hearing us. I pray that we make it through the fire. This word gon' take us higher, yes I know. I pray to y'all that one day my people see them chariots spreading the word in them streets, but my people not hearing us. I pray that we make it through the fire. This word gon' take us higher. I just lost faith. Yeah, I've been down bad. Now I know who I am. Now it's time to be great. I'm on a mission trying to stay persistent. These demons can't get in the way. This is my exodus plan, trying to get next to the man. I know this world gonna keep me away from my vision, but I got these blessings at hand. Yeah. Cause we've been cursed, now it's time to break it. Babylon, yes, I'm trapped inside with these wicked demons. I've been losing patience. I had the faith of a mustard seed. Now I gotta plant it right into my garden and watch it grow into a bunch of trees. Growth and prosperity, yes, it's something that I love to see. I cannot quit. Thinking back on the days I was misguided, yes, I reminisce. Now I know my heritage, I gotta cherish it. I'm trying to live. Yes, I got so much to give. We can't be saved until it's the end. I'm staying strong, I cannot switch. I'm hanging on, I got the grip. I pray to y'all that one day my people see them chariots spreading the word in them streets, but my people not hearing us. I pray that we make it through the fire. This word gon' take us higher, yes I know. I pray to y'all that one day my people see them chariots spreading the word in them streets, but my people not hearing us. I pray that we make it through the fire. This word gon' take us higher. Yes, I know. We've been through the chains and the yoke. 12 tribes only. They were so used to the old me. I cannot hang with the jokes. Yeah, I done changed for the better. Never gonna let up, nah, it ain't in my lane, cause I'm woke. And you should be woke too. Rich nigga talk, yeah, that's old news. Yeah, I done changed on the bros. Now I know my driving is shooter. I cannot ride with no shooter. I see with that sword in my hand, and them scriptures gon' cut you if you actin' screwed up. Watch out, them prophets gon' do you. I keep my faith in the ruler. Pray for salvation and wait for that day in the future. I know that it's coming soon. My people gotta repent and come back, cause them demons gon' come for you. My people don't know they're the chosen. They just wanna go with the motion. Gotta spread the word in these last days. Cut it off our past ways, we been so broken. Gotta feed the sheep, I'ma show them that we the real Jews, we been stolen. Yeah, we gotta wake up, gotta get the faith up. World domination is a notion. I'm just waiting for them chariots, take us right into the sky. All my people never cared enough, they was living in a lie. Real brews never die, we just wanna see the light. Guess we ready for the fight, do it all for the tribes.
As the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777, as the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777.
It's that frankincense and myrrh burn. 777, Yahweh shall gon' return. Take the kingdom of heaven. Pharisees, you wicked, misinterpret the scriptures. Took millions out your congregation trying to get richer. My main man who put me in the truth is down with you. All praises to the occupant, LOZ to reconfigure. Walking a narrow path, praying to become destined. Have faith in this personification will be a blessing. Metaphorically spitting this truth, giving them facts. We stay strapped, apocryphas and Bibles on our backs. They want us eradicated in the hood, giving us crack. Matter of fact, we gonna put Edom up in the trap. Trigger killing my brothers like bombing the Taliban. We got next nuclear warfare on Babylon. Revelation coming soon, another Vietnam. Look out for the whistle, hit you with a missile in a bomb.
As the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777, as the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777.
As I'm flipping through these scriptures, breaking down the parable, when that revelation hit you, how you feeling so hysterical, but now I get the picture. I wait for his return. Thank you, y'all, for the baptism of this wisdom that I learned. As my frankincense is burned, I'm meditating heavy on these laws. All that folly talk, I'm really not concerned. Completion number 7, that 144K, just doing what it take to earn my rightful place in heaven. Woe unto you, reverence, scattering all our people selling lies in your Sunday service. This should be illegal. Deception, what they feed you, it leave you so confused. The reason why I'm always studying to show thyself approved. Israel who he choose. I'm counting on my blessings. When you got nothing to lose, there's no reason to be stressing. I always stay secluded with fringes on my shirt, meditating on these scriptures, burning frankincense and myrrh.
As the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777, as the frankincense and myrrh burn, I start making sense of all the wisdom that I learned. Turn the pages of these scriptures, I see the bigger picture. I wait for his return, earn my rightful place in heaven. 777.
Abanawa Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabaraka Thumb. Kwame Yasharala. Give them something they could dance to. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my friends is on with my Z's. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my friends is on. Yeah, never leave home without my friends is on. And book of numbers 15 and 38 is shown. I'll be posted where I'm all throughout a generation. When you got them on, you set apart from these other nations. Gotta let your light shine, let them know it's on. When the 1/3 awaken, we'll be going home. Got on my friends is with my Z's and they hanging long. When I run into my Aki, I'm there hollering Shalom. So I never leave home without my friends is on. If I go and hit the mall, I got my friends is on. Even if I'm going to a ball, I got my friends is on. With the border blue ribbon and the all white linen on. I don't feel right if I ain't got them on. Like a pair of shoes, there's no excuse to leave them home. So you never catch me out without my friends is on. Cause we the church, got them on my garment and on every shirt. Yeah, never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without my friends is on. Never leave home without them. I sing along. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Always got my friends is on with my Z. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Cause I never leave home without my friends is on.
Yeah, my fringes I be rocking, I be stomping, never stopping, Millie rocking. Why you acting out of pocket? Why you gotta do that? Keep commandments easy peasy, it ain't greedy. Keep it flowing like some gravy, do the work. I ain't lazy. Keep commandments, understanding, never slack.
All right, Shabbat Shalom. We're going to get started with the service. We're running a little bit behind. Shofar. Lock the door, babe.
Good luck.
Armanyo Wapanya Hakwadam, rise and face the east. Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
The blessing of the Sabbath day. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Ahawah.
Ahawah.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Hashabach.
Hashabach.
Bashalom.
Bashalom.
The water.
The water.
Tamyad.
Tamyad.
Amen.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the Sabbath day in peace. Thank you, so be it. Amen.
Amen.
The calling of the tribes. Calling of the tribes. Tribes to the east. Yawasap.
Yawasap.
Banyamya.
Banyamya.
Dan.
Dan.
Shema.
Shema.
Yasharella.
Yasharella.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ahrahyahla.
Ahrahyahla.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Akkad.
Akkad.
Saw, turn. Tribes to the south. Shemaiwan.
Shemaiwan.
Yashakar.
Yashakar.
Zabalawan.
Zabalawan.
Shemai. Yasharella.
Yasharella.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. Saw, turn. Tribes to the west. Gad. Ashar. Naphtali. Shammai. Yasharella. Yahweh. Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. Saw, turn. Tribes to the north. Roaban. Yahawada. Loya. Shammai. Yasharella. Yahweh. Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. South, turn. Shammai. Yasharella. Yahweh. Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. Hero Israel, Yahweh's our power, Yahweh's one. Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai, the water of the Yad. Amen. Blessing of the Torah, you got it?
Yeah, I got the blessing of the Torah.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
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 Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai that gives to us the law. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Ha-Torah.
Ha-Torah.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai that gives to us the light to see. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Awar.
Awar.
Lara'ah.
Lara'ah.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai that gives to us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai.
Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Ha'ayo.
Ha'ayo.
Koran.
Koran.
Lakra'ah.
Lakra'ah.
Ha'ayin.
Ha'ayin.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
The yard.
The yard.
Amen.
Amen.
One more. Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, named Yahushai, that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Hashaman.
Hashaman.
Zayath.
Zayath.
Lamashak.
Lamashak.
Yasharella.
Yasharella.
Thawada.
Thawada.
Thanyad.
Thanyad.
Amen.
Amen.
Ten Commandments, go ahead.
Ha'ai Sharath Matazawath. The Ten Commandments in the Lashon Kadash. Repeat the Hebrew. La'a.
La'a.
Yahaya.
Yahaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Akariam.
Akariam.
Al. Panya.
Abanya.
La'a.
La'a.
The Aisha.
Aisha.
Laka.
Laka.
Pasal.
Pasal.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
The Ibadam.
Abadam.
La'a.
La'a.
Talakwaka.
Talakwaka.
Shamwa.
Shamwa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Alhaka.
Alaka.
Lashawa.
Lashawa.
Zakar.
Zakar.
Ath. Hayawam.
Hayawam.
Hashabat.
Hashabat.
Lakwadashwa.
Lakwadashwa.
Kabad.
Kabad.
Abaka.
Abaka.
Wa'amaka.
Wa'amaka.
La'a.
La'a.
Tratazak.
Tratazak.
La'a.
La'a.
Tana'ab.
Tana'ab.
La'a.
La'a.
Taganab.
Taganab.
La'a.
La'a.
Ta'aina.
Ta'aina.
Shakur.
Shakur.
La'a.
La'a.
Takamad.
Takamad.
Ko.
Ko.
Ashura.
Ashura.
Lora'aika.
Lora'aika.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Tumyad.
Tumyad.
Amen.
Amen.
The Ten Commandments in English, the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other powers before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For Yahweh thy power, a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy power in vain. For Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh by Hashem Hamashiach Yahushai made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh by Hashem Hamashiach Yahushai blessed the Sabbath day and holiday. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. By Hashem Hamashiach Yahushai, the water of the yard.
The Mashiach's Palal in the Lashon Kadash. Repeat the Hebrew. Abnawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Yatazachaaq, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kawabwatinawa, Kasalakinawa, Kawabwatinawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Banasayawan, Mabol, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwat, Waha'ala, Wahata Pa'arat, La'ai Walamium, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yawashai, Tawada, Tumyad, Amen.
Amen. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verse 9. Lord's Prayer. Matthew 6, verse 9. After this matter, therefore, pray ye, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushai, the Bayath and Yad. Amen.
Psalms 133 in the Lashon Kadash. Repeat the Hebrew. Shayar, Hama'alwa, Ladawad, Hana, Ma, Tawab, Wama, Nayam, Shabbat, Akim, Gum, Yakad, Kashaman, Hatawab, Ail, Haraash, Yarad, Ail, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Aharan, Shayarad, Ail, Paya, Madawatyawa, Katol, Karamwam, Shayarad, Ail, Haraya, Taziawan, Kaya, Sham, Tazawa, Yahweh, At, Habaraka, Kayam, Aid, Hawalam, Basham, Hamashiach, Yahushai, the water, Tumyad, Amen.
Psalms 133 in English. The book of Psalms, chapter 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It's like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, and as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there Yahweh Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushai commanded the blessed, even life forevermore. Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushai, the water, the Yad, Amen. Psalms 150 to praise. Praise ye Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yahweh in his sanctuary.
Hallelujah.
Praise him in the firmament of his power.
Hallelujah.
Praise him for his mighty acts.
Hallelujah.
Praise him according to his excellent greatness.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the sound of the trumpet.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the psaltery and harp.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the timbrel and dance.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the string instruments and organs.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the loud cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the high sounding cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Let everything that have breath praise ye Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Praise ye Yahweh. Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushai. The water, the Yad, Amen. Let everything that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Let everything that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
All praises, all things go out to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because truly his mercy endure forever. We want to thank you, Yahweh, for watching over and protecting us. We want to thank you for this wonderful Shabbat that you've given us, Shabbat day. And may we have the Shabbat day in peace, Yahweh. Please bless the Shabbat day, keep it peaceful, and keep it righteous, Yahweh, with us. Please send a righteous angel to encamp around us at all times, because we know that the devil is coming down like a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour, Yahweh. Please send a spirit out there, Yahweh, for our beloved and our elder sister Sharon. Though she's not here today, she's here in spirit, Yahweh. We pray for her and her family to help get through this loss that we have. Our elder Yuckanon has taken the journey back home to the Most High. He's there with him. Our elder is truly missed, and we want you to, Yahweh, please, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, watch over, keep the family and everyone safe and protect them. Also, Yahweh, send a righteous angel to camp around our Captain Yasharon, who's going through it, Yahweh, with his sickness, Yahweh. Please send a righteous angel to encamp around him and keep him safe and keep him warm and bring him back to the bosom of Yahweh. And as always, Yahweh, we always ask that you come and redeem us out of this captivity, Yahweh, all Israel, the circumcised and the uncircumcision. Bring us all out, Yahweh, out of this captivity into the wilderness, the land, and bring the rod of correction, Yahweh, on all of us that we need. And purge out the rebels, as you said you're going to do. Please, Yahweh, I thought, please come redeem us out of this captivity. All these things we ask and praise in your name, Yahweh, and your Son, that came and died for the nation of Israel, and Israel only, Mashiach Yahushai, by Shema Mashiach Yahushai, the water thing, Yah. All right, you shove him. If you want to be seated. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat in peace. We are gathered here today, and it's Shabbat day to go over the Torah portion that we have here today, which will be Genesis 6 and 9 to Genesis the 11th chapter. All right, we're going into the history of Noah. Okay, and how the flood started. So we're going to go into a few scriptures, go into this portion, and let's get some understanding on the history of the Most High, our history. All right? Khan? All right. So as always, we always start out with the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. Let's open up the word of Yah.
Colossians chapter 3 verse 17.
Read.
And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him.
Right, so we read this all every week, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, any words come out of your mouth, any deed that you may do for somebody, do all in the name, it said, in the name of the Lord. We know it means we do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, right? Always giving thanks to the Most High, and the Father by him. So let's just jump right to it. Let's get Genesis. We have some ground to cover. We have a lot to do. Let's look at Genesis, the 6th chapter.
Book of Genesis chapter 6 verse 9.
Read.
These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with the Most High.
Right, so we know Noah was a just man, meaning he was right, he was a righteous man, he was perfect in the eyes of the Most High. A lot of times people say you cannot be perfect, but you can be perfect in the eyes of the Most High. Okay? Don't try to please man and be perfect in his eyes. Be perfect in the eyes of the Most High, because that's what counts, all right? Read on.
And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was corrupt before the Most High.
Right? The earth was corrupt before the Most High. Read.
And the earth was filled with violence.
Man, the earth is filled with violence now. There's a lot of violence going on in the earth right now these days. People getting killed, and people disappearing. You know, some people getting kidnapped. Some people are just, I don't know, they just don't show up to work the next day. You know, I heard a young guy in the school just shot up a school, and it was a brother, you know. I mean, what is he doing shooting up the school? Usually that's Esau's MO, you know what I mean? Right? So it's a lot of violence in this world. Read.
And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth.
He said all flesh did this. And then it wasn't just somebody that was, you know. He said all flesh did this. But there was one that stood out, and that was Noah. He was a righteous man, perfect man. All right, read.
And the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them.
Right.
And behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Right, he said what? He's going to destroy everything on this earth. Why? Because the place was corrupt. It was killing each other, committing all acts of fornication, doing all kind of different things. Let's look at, hold that for a second. Don't drop that. We're going back to the portion. Let's get Matthew 24 and 37. Let's look at Matthew 24 and 37.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 37.
Read.
But as the days of Noah were.
Right, as the days of Noah were, read.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Right, so just like the days of Noah, right, come, he said, through the Spirit, that's how the ways is going to be the Son of Man. There are a lot of people going to lose their lives when Yahushua come back. Right? He said, bring those that, you know, before me, and if they refuse to have me reign over them, then I'm going to destroy them. Okay? So we gotta understand that, you know, this time is coming again. The days of Noah is coming back again. The day that the Most High is going to destroy a lot of things on this earth is coming very soon. The flood is around the corner. You just don't know it. And the Most High said he wasn't going to flood the earth again, right? We're going to get that later on, right? But the flood is going to be the fire, because he's going to purge you with fire. Read on.
For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage.
Right.
Until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
So even when Noah told them that, listen, man, the Most High is going to destroy this place. Y'all need to come and get with me. Right? They just said, man, you crazy. You know, and they just went ahead and did their thing. They married, they got drunk, they drinking, they throwing parties. They doing that now today. Don't we go out there on the streets and we tell them, yo, you guys need to repent, come back to the Most High? The flood is coming, man. It's around the corner. When Yahushua come back, a lot of people right now are reporting on YouTube and everything that they see these chariots in the sky. A lot of chariot sightings are being seen everywhere. They're looking and like, oh wow, what's going on? I think we an invasion. I think it's some UFOs. It's not UFOs, it's IFO. It's the angels of the Most High. They're watching. They're waiting. They're waiting for the order. When the Most High say, "Con," that's it. It's going down. So while we still here, while we above the ground, is the time we're supposed to praise the Father. Because when you below the ground, that's too late. All right. So read on. One more verse.
And knew not until the flood came.
Right. They didn't know until the flood came. Read.
And took them all away.
Right.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
You see that? He said, and knew not until the flood came. Right? What does the scripture say? Scriptures come to my head. Matthew 39. Get Thessalonians. All right. So they said what? And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. They didn't know what was going on until the flood came. Why didn't they know what was going on? Was it a secret? No. I'm sorry. Marshall?
They was too good. They was too busy having a good time, partying and drinking and marrying and things like that.
Yeah, that's what our people are doing now. Right? That's what our people are doing now. It's just hanging out, getting it on. I remember we was in Ybor City, we was teaching, the guy said, yo, we ain't got time for church. We in Ybor City. I said, it's time to party. I said, wow. And pulled his friend right along. His friend was like zoned in.
Are you looking for 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3?
What's that?
5 and 2.
Give the children all life. What's that say?
As a thief coming in now.
Yes, that's what I want. Okay.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 2.
Right.
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
You see that? So the day of the Lord comes like what? A thief in the night. You know? But here in Matthew 39, 24, 39, it says, and knew not until the flood came. Right? That's why he's saying gonna come like a thief in the night. Because they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention to the signs and wonders in the world. The prophecies. Right? And took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. He's going to be like a thief in the night to who? To those people who don't know him. We know him because why? We keep his commandments. That's what he said. If you know me, you keep my commandments. Right? So those who know Hamashiach Yahushua, we going to know he's coming. He about to bust open that sky. And now what? What y'all going to do then? What y'all going to do then, huh? Tell me that, huh?
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Right. They up there saying everything is good. You know.
That ain't gonna stop.
Right. Everything is good. You know what I mean? They're not worrying about what's going on in the world. Yeah, we got the COVID, but you know, hey, get the vaccination. You good? Let's go back out and party. You know what I mean? You know, I hear Esau. He's so proud. Like he told me one day, the other day I was in a tire shop. He told me, you got a mask on. You didn't get vaccinated? My wife went. My daughter went. My son. Why are you not vaccinated? That's how he talk. Why are you not vaccinated? What is so to be afraid about? You know, that's how he start talk. You know, when they proud and they believe in themselves, they believe in their people, they believe in their science, they wholeheartedly believe in them. But you got to understand the people that don't have trust in them, because we have trust in the Most High. We don't have trust in Esau's system because we know that Esau has lied to us, has bamboozled us, run amok, robbed, steal, murdered. He did all kind of stuff to you, and now he coming to you with a syringe talking about, trust me. Come on. If somebody rob you and steal you and then come back the next week and say, I know I robbed you, man, but come with me, man. I got a job for you. You're going to be like, come what you wear. Just around the corner. You afraid to walk around the corner with the guy. Somebody might bust in your head with a brick and then take your wallet. So why do you think that we're supposed to trust Esau? I mean Edomite was just there. I don't understand. Just go ahead and get vaccinated. That's how he's talking. I'm looking at him like, oh yeah. Fix my tire. That's what I'm here for, you know? These people are something else, you know? So he said he's gonna come like a thief in the night. He's gonna come like a thief in the night to those who don't know him. We know him because why? We know him because we keep his law, and we looking for the signs and the times. We looking at the wonders, the things that's happening in the world. We know it's about to go down, but we don't know when. So we seeing it. But the people of the world, they don't see it. That's why they still partying. They still, going to the parade and they dancing and they jumping around, gyrating and showing their body. Right? They think this is a good thing to do, but when Yahushua come back, it's gonna be too late now. Daddy's home. You've been around on Sunday morning, and you've been running around all day, outside riding your bike, left your bike in the yard. You inside the house, you made peanut butter and jelly, and you left the peanut butter out, left the peanut butter open, the jelly all over the table, right? And Dad comes in from work, it's too late now. You ain't pick up that bike, clean up after yourself, you ain't do your chores, guess what? Time to pay, right? And that's what's going on today. Our people are not doing their chores. Their chores is what? These commandments. Doing the work for the Most High. And now, when he come home, now it's time to pay. Now it's time, you in your punishment, but now it's time for your final punishment. Now it's time for your judgment. Right? Our people, we still laughing, joking, everything is funny, everything is one big joke. Let me tell you something. I just told the captain here, you need to watch that show. The brother Dave Chappelle. You need to watch that show. Let me tell you something. He dropped a couple of jewels in there. He dropped some stuff that'll make you think this brother here know the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I advise everyone to watch it when you get a chance. But a lot of people are not going to know when Yahushua come back. They're not going to see. They're not going to know anything. And it is going to be straight fuel for the fire. That's all. This coronavirus is just a little, a little sprinkle of water. It's nothing compared to what we're going to go through. Trust me, nothing. All right. Read on. You finished that in Thessalonians?
You finished it.
Go ahead.
As travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Right. So he says, for when they shall say peace and safety, our people are saying that. I'm vaccinated. I got my mask on. I'm good. Right? And sudden destruction is coming upon them. They're gonna receive it. As travail upon a woman with child. This America is gonna be like a woman having a baby. She in her last semester, and it's time, almost time to give birth to this bad boy. And Yahushua gonna come and destroy this place, and they shall not escape. Most I said they're not gonna escape. Drop that. Go back. Go back to the portion, Genesis.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 14. Make thee an ark of gopher wood.
Right.
Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit thou shalt finish it.
What do you need a window for in the ark? This is going outside. Look.
So you can see how high and how low the water is?
Waters is, right? Right. See how high, how low the waters is? That's right. See, and also to see the weather. Right? Need to be able to see what's going on out there, because if it's going to be like a storm or rain is coming down, you need to be able to. You may not be able to go outside and look. So you'll be able. All right. You have a visual. You can look out the window and see.
Probably need some oxygen, too.
Need some oxygen in there? All right, I'm sure they got it going on up in there. Go ahead.
Does anybody know what a cubit is? The length of a cubit is?
18 to 20 inches.
Is that about right?
Yeah. 18 inches, yeah.
Gone.
Foot and a half. So that's about 18 inches. So that's the size of the window, right? It's possibly the size of this window here. Normally they keep things very simple. I think we measured it. Last time, Ariel, me and you measured it. I think we measured the width of the window. It was almost 2 feet or something like that. Right? They don't make it much bigger than that, unless it's something in a big house and they specially ordered the windows. But normally, the window's not that big. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say football field is 100 yards. Right?
Yeah, that's 100 yards.
So the ark was 4 football fields and a half. That's how long it was.
Something like that. Yeah. Go ahead.
Before that, let's get a visual. Yatazachaaq, can you look up Ken Ham, the Ark of the Covenant? I mean, Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah. See if you can look that up. I was gonna ask him to look it up. Yeah.
Because Edomite reconstructed the ark using the dimensions to give people a visual and a size of what it may have looked like.
Right.
And he built it in Kentucky, and it's like kind of like a museum. You can go check it out. And then he has all the compartments where Noah may have placed the animals and stuff like that. You getting it, Yatazachaaq?
Captain, you getting it? Yeah, you can read on. You know why he's getting it.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 17.
Uh-huh.
And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life,
right,
from under heaven. And everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives, with thee.
Right, so the Most High saw that, the earth was given into corruption and violence. And he saw the spirit that was on Noah. And his family, they obeyed him, they watched him as he was the elder there, and they followed him in his walk, with the Most High. Because he said he walked with the Most High. So his children followed him there. So the Most High saw that, and he said, you know what? I'm going to destroy everything, but I'm going to save you guys, because you guys are going to be that. You're the ones going to set it off for the next generation. Did he find it? There, go right there. So this is a visual of the guy. This guy right here built this. Right, that's really good. He built this, the ark, and he built it out in the middle of Kentucky. Now, Kentucky, from my understanding, has maybe about 5 or 6 airports. So Kentucky is like one of the really big states. So I did want us to mention maybe we can take a trip and do something like that and go see something like that, because that's the actual size. He took the size and dimensions from where we're reading out of right now, right? And then he recreated it with the rooms in there. Yeah.
So like you actually got 150 yards.
You got 150 yards for the ark?
Yes.
Okay. So 150 yards, so that'd be a football field and a half. So that thing is huge. You know what I mean?
I want to add one more thing too. When we read the scriptures, we gotta visualize too. These things are real, because Esau will have you think that a man cannot create something like that. You see the size of that ship that was under, with the dimensions? Esau created ships that is bigger than that. It says Noah, the Most High gave Noah the instruction to build it. He said he gave Noah instructions. You got to use your common sense sometimes to understand what the scripture is saying. Maybe he hired people, men, to put it all together, but Noah had the instruction from the Most High.
Right. He got it from the Most High. That was a good example when we read the scriptures, when the Most High said He's gonna put the laws in our inward parts. Right? He didn't go and throw a book down from heaven and say, read this. Right? This was installed. This was in His spirit. Just like as you notice that some people here, like I know when I was growing up, I had brothers out there, they were mechanics. They used to work in the parking lot, in the projects. These guys didn't go to no school. They didn't get certified doing nothing. They just come out the womb and just be damn, I think I could put this together. I think I can find out what the problem is. And they just damn take it apart and be like, oh, okay, and put it back together again. These guys never went to school or anything. Yeah, inside the ark, it got the levels, it got the compartments, it got everything. They even have like some mannequin thing of Noah. Of course, he looked like Esau. Right? He gonna not put the actual image of Noah in there, right? So, and he had Ham, Shem, and Japheth too. He got them in there. He have like some sort of image of them, right? So, I think it'll be very educational to make a trip like that. It's something that we can bring the children. Could be really costly though, because I think Captain was saying it's like $50 per person to go in there. But I think it'd be worth the trip because of there's something that we can actually visual and see. He got a lot of flack. He got a lot of fight back, this dude right here, for doing that, because of if this is what we're saying according to Scripture, this is real, that this really happened. That means the theory that man's been around for 1 million years and the dinosaur been gone 1 million years is garbage. It's garbage, right? Because the dinosaurs was there when he was building this. So you know what I mean? So this is the understanding, and that's why he got a lot of flack back from the Scientology people, because of he was saying that this is true what the Bible is saying, that Noah built that ark and the flood came and destroyed everybody. That will destroy this right here. Noah existing alone kills all that Egyptology. They've been around 1 million years and all that stuff. That's garbage. That's garbage. There was actually 450 feet people walking around. Where are the bones of these people at? Right? Because if somebody died, even dinosaurs, we still to the day, they still finding like prehistoric, remains. You know what I'm saying? So where is the 400 feet tall man remains? Where's his at? Yeah, where's his fossil at? So when you go into Noah and you read Noah, you gotta understand that this is like life spinning right back over again, the beginning of it now, because everything was destroyed. If you remember, we're gonna go through it though. We're gonna read more. Go ahead, Al.
I want to add just one more
Go
thing.
ahead.
Verse 18. Can you read verse 18 for me?
Yeah. The book of Genesis chapter 6 verse 18. But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee.
Now we know Noah was a righteous man. A man is supposed to be represented with his household. He was in righteousness. He instructed his children, his house, in righteousness. Give me a precept to prove that. Joshua 24:14. Because as a man, you are like the head of your household, and as the head of your household, you instruct your children, the members of your household, in righteousness to follow after you.
The book of Joshua chapter 24 verse 19.
Verse 14. So
14. Okay. Joshua 24 verse 14. Now therefore fear the Most High and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Most High. If it seem evil unto you to serve the Most High, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me,
as for what?
As for me,
as for what?
As for me and my house, we will serve the Most High.
Noah, as well as the members of his household, they served the Most High God.
Right.
And they learned the righteous instruction of the Most High from Noah. Let's go back to the portion.
Right.
Genesis chapter 6 verse 19. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee.
Right.
They shall be male and female, of the fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them.
Right.
Thus did Noah, according to all that the Most High commanded him, so did he.
Right, so he did everything that the Most High wanted him to. This is also what made him righteous, made him perfect in the eyes of the Most High. He didn't rebuttal. He didn't go say, well, why I got to do that, Most High? Why should I do that? Why do I need to do that? He said, what you need? And he just made sure that he covered everything that the Most High told him to get. Now he told him to get what? Get male and female. Why? So that they can continue on to repopulate. Because remember, he's going to destroy the earth and destroy every living thing on the earth. Right? So if you destroy every living thing on the earth, you're going to have to somehow replenish it. So he had to get food for them to eat for the time that they're going to be out, because everything will be destroyed. And he has to get the animals that's going to repopulate, whether it be clean or unclean. So we have to make sure that we cover that. That's why the Most High loved Noah, because he was perfect. He was a righteous man. Read on that. Chapter 7.
And the Most High said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark.
Right. You see how he said, get your house? He said, as for me and my house, we're going to keep the commandments. He said, thou and thy house. Who he's referring to? His sons and his daughter-in-law and his wife. Go ahead.
For thee have I seen righteousness before me in this generation.
Right. So Most High say he's seen the righteousness in the family. Read.
Verse 2. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens.
Right.
The male and his female. And of the beasts that are not clean by two. The male and his female.
Okay.
Stop right there. I have a question. What is the meaning of a clean beast and an unclean beast? What is the purpose of this law?
I would say the meaning of clean and unclean was one was clean and acceptable unto the Most High, also clean and okay to eat. Then the other one unclean, meaning they wasn't acceptable to sacrifice to the Most High or clean to eat because they weren't able to be sacrificed to the Most High.
Come on. But mainly get me Leviticus chapter 11 verse 46.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Clean and unclean tells you two things. A, I can eat it, and B, I cannot consume it. That is the main purpose of the dietary law. What makes an animal clean is I can consume it. I can eat a chicken, I can eat beef, I can eat goat, I can't eat a dog, I can't eat a horse, I can't eat a cat. Those animals are unclean.
Right.
That lets you know that these instructions, this knowledge, Noah already had. You know, we received the Torah, we received the law of the Most High God in the wilderness, but certain instruction you find within the law of the Most High God, he always had it. So how can the Most High God find iniquity on the earth during the time of Noah and there was no law, no instruction? He always had instruction on this earth to guide man. Read.
Man just refused the instruction, that's all.
Go on.
The book of Leviticus chapter 11 verse 46. This is the law of the beast and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten
and the
what? To make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
Go on. Right. Go back to the portion. Genesis chapter 7 verse 2. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth.
Right.
For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. Right. And Noah did according unto all that the Most High commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of the waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of the clean beasts, and of the beasts that are not clean, and of the fowls, and of every thing that creepeth upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as the Most High commanded Noah. And it came to pass.
Right, hold on. It said, and as the Most High had commanded Noah. You know, we always wondered, like, you know, how in the world did he go and get these animals, right? You got to think about, you know, that's the spirit of the Most High. That, you know, the animals, first of all, the Most High put his spirit on the animals to know when something is going down. As you notice, you know, we live in a state that, in South Florida, you know, we get a lot of storms, you know, hurricane. You know, we don't get no earthquakes here, but we get the hurricanes and we get tornadoes, right? So you notice that when the hurricane is coming and it's really bad, you notice that if you look up, the birds will give you a sign, because they'll look at you and be like, all right, we out of here, right? And you notice, you see them flying whatever direction away from the trouble that's coming, because they already sense it already. That's the spirit that Most High put in them. They know what time it is. They start moving right away. All animals, even I'm sure if you go to the zoo around that time, that the animals start to act up, because they know, they sense when the danger is coming, right? They brought it out in the movie, you know, like Ice Age, those movies like for the children. When you see the storm is coming and the thing is getting like really cold, like the animals and everything will start moving to a different location. You know, that's a true statement there, you know, that the animals move like that. I remember we live off in Fort Lauderdale off Oakland Park. There used to be all these birds around Oakland Park in 441. Once that storm was coming in, that's it. You didn't see those birds no more. You went out there, and every day you drive by and said, man, what's all these birds here? And you hear it in your car while the windows is closed with the air conditioner on. You still hear those birds out there. When that storm came, you ain't heard nothing. It was quiet, because they sensed this thing was going down, right? The Most High put that spirit in them to know, to sense these things. But Noah had that spirit on him to get those animals on there. I mean, the lion, can you imagine? The tiger, you know, getting that pig on there, right? Yeah, you got to think about that. What about that bear? What about the elephant? What about him? Yeah.
Sirach 39 probably go with that. When he said the teeth of the wild beasts, those avengers, and they rejoice in his commandments. So
right. Yeah. Yeah. The Most High is in control of the animals. That we do know, absolutely, right? And that's why he said he's going to use them in the last days, right? All right, read on.
Genesis chapter 7, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights.
Right.
In the selfsame day entered Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, into the ark. And they and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as the Most High had commanded him, and the Most High shut him in.
Right. So after they all gathered all the animals and they were in their quarters, the Most High, you know, told them, hey, shut the door. This is it. Right? 40 days, 40 nights, this thing is going to rain. Right? You ever look at this 40 days and 40 nights? You ever really look at it? How many times this happened through the history? 40 days and 40 nights. What's the name was they gone for 40 days and 40 nights? Moses. That's right. Moses was gone for 40 days and 40 nights. Ahrahyahla was gone 40 days and 40 nights. What was Ezra? Was Ezra gone 40 days and 40 nights? He was gone for a while because he had to rewrite the Torah, remember? Yeah. So, you know, you notice key points throughout the history, and you see that, you know, like Moses and Yahushua, they were gone, you know, and Moses didn't eat. He was fasting through the 40 days and 40 nights, and also Yahushua, right? So here, you know, the Most High is taking them through these days, 40 days and 40 nights. That's going to pour and it's going to rain. Yes.
We know the breakdown and like actually like you breaking down like the meaning of the 4 days and 40 nights. I mean, this is a breakdown today.
Well, you know, I don't think it's a breakdown to anything. It's just showing you that the Most High, He deal with the numbers. You right? And as you notice, He said take 7 of the clean animals. Right? It's 7 days in a week and we get what? A Shabbat. Right? 7 sticks on a menorah. The 7 churches of Asia Minor. So you know 7 is a key in the Most High's understanding, you know what I mean? It may not be given to us to know these 40 days, 40 nights, or the 7, or the reason why He chose the dove, and all these different things, but all these things will be made known to us when it's time on His return. Yeah, that's right. All things will be put together at that time, right? So, as we look at Noah, and he built his ark, and his sons was there, you notice you see Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Later on, they became the progenitors of different nations, right? But at this particular time, even though they themselves were, you can say they were Hebrews because they came out of Noah, right? And now they had 3 sons. He had 3 sons with them, and now they're going to be the progenitors of what? Of other nations. But before they became the progenitors of these other nations, they what? They kept the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High set up. Because they were in the household with their father, and they obeyed their father. Everybody understand that? All right, read on that.
Genesis chapter 7, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark. And it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered.
Right, so you notice, you hear them say that the mountains was covered. And if you notice that the mountains, there's certain mountains that go high, they're even high as almost the clouds.
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest is one of the high ones. You know, there are a few other ones that were very high. And, you know, the water was above all of that. Right? So we got to remember how high this thing was. The Most High raised up the seas and raised up everything so that it would be what? So it will cover, Shalom. It will cover the entire earth. So you see how Esau looks at the earth and he has it like a shape, like a ball, and you see the land and you see water. So imagine now you see that like that and it's all blue. Because that's how it was. The whole entire earth was just covered. You couldn't see anything. The mountains were covered, everything was covered. Right, read on.
Genesis chapter 7, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle.
You see that? Now this is the scripture you need to highlight and put a mark in your book. It's one of your head choppers. When somebody come with you with the Egyptology, that Egypt's been around for millions of years, and the dinosaur was around over 100 million years ago. That don't make no sense. Right? So nothing was alive after the flood came, right? And they even got proof of the flood. So there's proof out there. There's, like I said before, you know, when that guy built that ark out in Kentucky, and he reconstructed it, he got a lot of flack back from the Scientology department, because they're saying, man, why are you building this ark? This thing is fake, and this thing never happened, right? They believe in science. So the Most High said that all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of the beast and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. So that man is what? Mankind. Everything died. Man, woman, child, dog, cat. Whatever you had out there was finished. You couldn't climb no tree talking about you'll be all right, because this thing was above the waters, way above the mountains. Read on that, verse 22.
Genesis chapter 7, verse 22. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died, and every living substance was destroyed, which is upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark.
Right, so it's Noah, and how many was it all together? Anybody know?
8.
Right, so it was 8 of them all together that lived. Noah and his wife, and then the 3 children, and then their wives. So that's 8 altogether. Read on.
And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
How many days is that? Well, rather, how many months is that? 5? Right, so that's about 5 months. So that's a good while to have, the water just sitting upon the earth. 5 months, so anything that is there will not survive. After 5 months, you can forget about it. Who would? Not even somebody would survive out there. Even if they had some sort of boat or something, it wouldn't work. Because all the vegetation, everything was gone. Right? He destroyed everything on the earth. You know what I mean? So that was his plan. So that's what the Most High's plan. Will he do it again? We'll see. The flood is coming, but it's going to be with Yahweh Shai and the angels. That's going to be the flood. That's going to be the next flood. All right? The flood of the angels. That's why everyone keeps seeing these things in the sky and say, we not alone. And people say things, we not alone. I knew the angels were real when I heard about that movie, the Travis Barton movie, Fire in the Sky. Right? It's a priest's favorite movie right there. Okay, when they came down and abducted that Edomite and took him up there in the spaceship and whooped his behind and tortured him and threw him right back down. They said, this is a portion of what you're going to get. Right? So they ain't believe him. They was going to lock his friends up. That's the whole movie. They was going to lock his friends up and put his friends in jail. They had him in court. If he didn't show up, they was going to jail for him missing. Yeah, Con.
Psalm 68:17.
Yeah, get that. Yeah, they was going to jail. Right? They didn't think it's a joke, boy. You playing around with the wrong one. Playing around with the wrong one, man. I'm telling you right now.
The book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels.
Right.
The Most High is among them as in Sinai, in the holy place.
That's it. That's good scripture. That's right. The Most High said 20,000 of these jokers up there. They ain't playing around. Did they come to talk about anything? Did they come out here to hang out?
Can we bring out Matthew 26:53?
Read that again. Psalms 68:17.
Sorry.
The book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Most High is among them as in Sinai, in the holy place.
Right, the Most High is among those angels. So, when I said the flood is coming, the flood is coming. But it's not going to be of water. It's going to be of the angels. Right? They're going to come and they're going to wreak havoc on this earth. Right now, because the earth is going to violence. Alright? We have pestilence, the top pestilence, the COVID, you know what I mean? The Delta, I don't know what else they got out there. They come up with all kind of stuff. Right? I was just telling them earlier, Captain Bayath, I was in there trying to get some work done on my tire, and I had my mask on, and the guy that works behind the counter, he said, yeah, I remember you. I sold you your tires. I said, yeah. He said, why do you have that mask on? You're not vaccinated? I was like, no. Why are you not vaccinated? I'm looking at him like, damn, Esau, leave me alone. He's trying to get my tire fixed over here. Yeah, you should be vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. My wife is vaccinated. You know, my children are vaccinated. I mean, he's talking like this. This is how he talks.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm looking at him like, Well, what the hell you want? You want everybody. Esau, you want everything. You know what I mean? You trust in, you know, you Edomite. You trust in their system. You trust everything that they do. That is good. Right? We've been bamboozled. We've been run amok, murdered, did all kind of things. We trust the police. We put our trust in the government, and what the government do? Put us in captivity. Right? And then now they come over with a syringe. Now you talking about, yo, trust me. You bring people like T.D. Jakes up there to get his shot. Trust me. See, your own brother T.D. Jakes is doing it. Right? Right? So they bringing people up there so to get people comfortable with the taking of the vaccination. Oh my gosh, I tell you, these people are something else. Why can't people just live their life? If they don't want to take it, they don't want to take it. Bad enough you're turning people away anyway if they don't have the vaccination. If you go in the hospital with the COVID and you ain't been vaccinated, they don't want to take care of you.
Two Edomites, just a man and his wife, they recently died while they were fully vaccinated. They recently died from COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, there's things happening, man. I mean, you know, regardless of what, if you vaccinated or not, it all depends on, you know, really the Most High and how you take care of yourself.
Right, it's your time on that.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna stop it.
Right. So, you know, you gotta make sure that, you know, like, you know, the captain always say, beef up on your vitamins. Make sure you're taking your D3, E, C. Take all your alphabets, man. Take them all. And don't forget about the Z. Don't leave out the Z, the zinc, right? You know, I take at least 2 of those, 2 zinc, take 5 of the D3, you know, I double up on the stuff, you know what I mean? You know, so if something happened, you do catch it or something, you know, at least maybe it's possible, strong possibility, that you might be able to fight it off, your body might be able to fight it off, you know, with the prayers of the saints. Hopefully you make it through, you know. You know, but that's what we have to keep getting ourselves prayed up and keep fasting for one another, that we get out of this captivity. I don't know who want to stay here, but I'm ready to get out of here now. I thought. Yeah. All right, we're going to the 8th chapter. Chapter 8. The book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 1.
And the Most High remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And the Most High made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated.
Right, so the waters went down, they abated and went back to the, because what he did was he made it rain, but it wasn't the rain that actually flooded the earth. It was the seas. Remember, we have more water on this earth than we do have land. Everybody understand that? Do anybody know that? There is more water on this earth than it is land. So anytime the Most High could raise the water, raise the seas, right? You ever see people, like when you watch TV, they say, well, you are 6 feet under sea level, right? They tell you stuff like that. Those things are very important to pay attention to, because if you live near the beach and a wave come through there, if you already 6 feet under the you in trouble, right? You about to be underwater for real.
It says that in verse chapter 7, verse 11. It says, in the 600 year of Noah, like in the 2nd month, 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were poured.
Yeah, that's right. So when the seas flooded the place up, filled the place up, you couldn't see the mountain. And as he said, Mount Everest, you know, which is probably one of the tallest mountains out there. Which is the tallest mountain out there? It's not Everest, right? I don't think so. But it is one of the tallest though. I mean, I don't know. We actually had to look it up.
I was gonna ask, so the water was coming like this, closing in like it was coming.
Yeah, the water. You ever see those people in Louisiana when the levees broke? That was the flood for them. It was a Noah all over again.
Mount Everest.
Yeah, Mount Everest is the tallest? Okay. Yeah, so it was a flood all over again. That Mount Everest is tall.
29,000 feet.
Yeah, some people climb it and don't make it back down. They just get lost forever because, you know, Esau, he wants to conquer everything, so he wants to make it all the way to the top and say he made it up there, you know what I mean? So a lot of them don't even get that far. You got to be careful when you're doing something like that, because you have the altitude, and the oxygen level changes when you get to that height, right? So even if you go to another place is high altitude is Colorado, they call it Rocky Mountains. You get to a certain part over there, you know, if you got a breathing problem, you might have a problem over there. Yeah, that's right. You gotta be careful, man. You go to some of these places. You gotta, you know, do your research. So the Most High at this point, after a certain amount of time, you know, he let the waters abate down. The waters is going to start to decrease. Read on now.
Genesis chapter 8 verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat.
Right, from the mountains of Ararat. That's an important mountain too, I think, today. But we'll look at it later on. Read.
And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month.
Mm.
In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen.
Right.
And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark, which he had made.
So let me ask you a question. Let me touch on something right here. So obviously, we know that Noah had the righteousness of the Most High. There's a covenant he made with Noah and his family, right? And he knew between the unclean beasts and the clean. Well, obviously, just reading this right here, he had to know when the month ended and the month began for him to track that down. So even he had the months, but maybe it wasn't a celebration of each month every month, but he understood how to count the months. Everybody understand that? Right? He had that understanding today. I mean, from back then. Read on.
Genesis chapter 8 verse 7.
Because he knew when the 7th month was, the 10th month. That means you have to be counting each day. When knowing the days. Right? How many days it takes for you to get a month? 30. That's right. Or between 28 and 29. See, between those three numbers, 28, 29, or 30. Right? So it's an estimate. I guess because of the going of the moon. Right? So they know how to count back then. Read on.
And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro, until the waters were dried up from off the earth.
Right.
Also he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark. For the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet other 7 days. And again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came in to him in the evening. And lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf, plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth.
Right, at this point, because she got the olive, he knew that, she had to get that from the tree. The dove ain't going in the water to get that. So, he had it, at this point, the water had already dropped down, and the olive tree had, I guess it started to grow. So, bring forth some olives, right? Because you remember, everything was destroyed. Everybody got that? Read.
And he stayed yet other 7 days,
right,
and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more.
Right, at this point, so he know that the dove didn't come back, so he must have found rest for his feet. Go ahead.
And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. And the Most High spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons, and thy sons' wives.
We're going into another year right now, no? Right? Because he stopped, and let's look back. When the water started to go down, it was in the 7th month. Then he stayed 2 more months, right? 2 or 3 more months. It went into the 10th month. He still was in the ark. Right? Now we're reading where? We said, read 13.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month.
You see that? Now we're going into another year. So actually, he was out on that water.
For a year, yeah.
Yeah. To make Most High make sure ain't nobody gonna survive a whole year out there. You finished. You ain't gonna be chilling nowhere for a whole year.
Everything goes.
You done, finished, right? So even the waters abated, but they still was high after a while, because even they sent the dove out there and the raven, they still came back. Everybody still came back. It's only when now we going into the second month, and the first month is when he start to say, you know, I can see the ground now. Right. So he cleansed the earth. So he was out there over a year. Right? Read on now.
The waters were dried up from off the earth.
Uh-huh.
And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry.
Right. So at this point, he saw the face of the ground on the first month. Read.
And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High spake unto Noah, saying,
What did he say?
Go forth of the ark,
Mm-hmm.
thou and thy wife, and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth.
Right.
And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kind, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto the Most High, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar.
Right. So now, as you notice that now that he has obeyed the Most High, he did everything the Most High told him to do. Build the ark, build the cabins, build the rooms inside. Take 7 unclean, take 2 of the clean, 2 of the unclean, beasts, and put them together, male and female. He did everything. His sons obeyed the word of the Most High. He said he was a perfect man, a just man. Right? So at this particular time, right after he has successfully now got them over to this point, what's the first thing he did? Set it up to the Most High. Build that altar. Did the sacrifices. You know what I mean? Right? That's the first thing he did. Right? That's what we got to remember. This is your first love. I know you got your little sweetie at the house, and she stroke your hair, and she do nice things for you and buy you things. But if this ain't your first love, you're going to be in trouble. Right? Read on. 21.
Genesis chapter 8, verse 21.
Read.
And the Most High smelled a sweet savor.
Right, he smelled a sweet savor. Why? Because he lit up the sacrifices and the frankincense and myrrh. He's out there burning his place up. And the Most High said he smelled a sweet savor. Read.
And the Most High said it in his heart.
What did he say?
I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake.
So he said he wasn't going to curse the ground anymore for man's sake. That's it. He's not going to do that anymore. Read.
For the imagination of man's heart is evil.
Is what?
Is evil.
Is who?
Is evil.
From when?
From his youth.
Right. So when your child is born, you don't believe. You say, oh, he's so innocent. This joker got a demon on him. Right? He's evil from his youth, whether you accept it or not. Right? You have to show them the path to righteousness.
Right.
You have to show them. You have to be a living example of being that path to righteousness. If you're not, they're going to be evil in their youth and in their old age. There's going to be an evil son. You have a wicked son. Hold that. Give me the Apocrypha. Give me Sirach 17 and 16. Right? These children are evil from their youth. So even now you see on YouTube or you see on TikTok, you know, parents be putting videos up there of a little girl. She be young, you know, 7, 8 years old. She got a little mini skirt on and some song come on and she damn popping and rocking and gyrating. You be like, wait a minute, you moving around like some of these adults around here. But where the correction coming in at?
Ain't none.
There is none. They're evil from their youth. They're going to grow up and be the same way like their mother, right? A 4x4, right? 4 children and 4 baby daddies. This is what's going to happen. This is the future for our children if we don't teach them the path of righteousness. Sirach, what I call 17:16 or 16? 17:16. Read that.
Sirach chapter 17 verse 16. Every man from his youth is given to evil.
Read that again.
Every man from his youth is given to evil.
Every man from his youth is given into evil. Everybody understand that? Read.
Neither could they make to themselves fleshly hearts for stony.
Right. They can't make to themselves fleshly hearts from stony. Because right now, as from their youth, their heart is stony. Right? We have to get them on a path of righteousness so they can receive that fleshly heart. Right? Drop that. Give me Ezekiel now. 11:19. Let's look at the prophet Ezekiel, what he had to say.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 11, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give them one heart,
right? And
I will put a new spirit within you. And I will take the stony heart.
You take the what?
Stony heart.
Our people got a heart of stone, man. There's no love there's no love for our neighbor. Where the love at? Right? Where the pork chop preacher always say, there's not enough love in the world. There's a lot of love in the world, but a lot of people don't know what love is. They think love is buying a nice car and giving somebody some candy, right? Coming over their house and spending time with them. That's not love. Love is the keeping of the commandments. If your love is not being governed by the commandments, you're not doing love. You're doing filthy McNasty. Anybody understand that? All right. Read some more.
Out of their flesh, and will give them an heart of flesh. Verse 20. That they may walk in my statutes and keep mine ordinances and do them. And they shall be my people,
right?
And I will be their power.
Okay, that's it. Right. Give me Ezekiel again, 36 and 24.
Ezekiel 36, 24. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 24.
Read.
For I will take you from among the heathen,
right,
and gather you out of all the countries.
Read on.
And will bring you into your own land.
Right, we're going to be in our own land. Once we get rid of that stony heart, we have that fleshly heart, now we'll be able to receive the commandments and the covenant that the Most High have for us. Read.
Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you.
Right, not like the Catholic do, sprinkle that water on you. That's dirty. Because they themselves are altar and altar boys, so ain't nothing clean about that water. Read.
And ye shall be clean from all your filthiness.
Right, we're going to be clean from all our filthiness. Read.
And from all your idols will I cleanse you.
Right.
Verse 26. A new heart also will I give you.
Right.
And a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart.
Take away the what?
And I will take away the stony heart.
Right, we need that stony heart to be taken away. Read.
Out of your flesh.
Out of your flesh. Read.
And I will give you an heart of flesh.
Right, read on.
Verse 27. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes.
Right, see, he's going to give us the inward parts. He's going to give us his spirit, and we're going to walk in him. Just like he gave the spirit to have Noah build the ark. He put a spirit in him. He didn't drop 10 books down and told him study that, and you know what, I'm going to test you later on. No. He put that in his spirit to know how to build. Right? Read.
And ye shall keep my judgments and do them.
Read.
Verse 28. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your power.
Right, and that's a prophecy. They say, you know what? We're going to be his people, and he's going to be our power when we receive this fleshly heart and not keep this stony heart. Right? Our heart is full of all kind of different wickedness and evil from our youth, and we have to be taught righteousness. Everybody understand that? All right, let's go back. Portion. Genesis 8 and 22.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 22. While the earth remaineth, seed time, and harvest, and cold, and heat, and summer, and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
He said, while the earth remaineth seed time, and harvest, and cold, and what's that? Heat, the summer, and winter, and day and night shall not cease. So the Most High said these things are not going to cease. Huh? Those are the seasons. That's right. That's right. Those are the seasons. Because we need the seasons. Right? We need the seasons. Everybody know why we need the seasons? What we need seasons for? What we need seasons for?
For exactly to tell time, what time of the year you're in, when to plant, when to reap.
Yeah, that's right. The seasons are very important. They are very important for our agriculture, right? There's certain plants and certain fruit don't grow in certain seasons, right? So a lot of times people they have a chart. I know it's out there somewhere. They have a chart to tell you when to eat certain fruit, like eat blueberries this time, eat apples this time, right? There's people that actually eat like that. Like if it's mango season, they eat mangoes. But when it's not mango season, they don't eat mangoes, right? They follow the fruit like it's a fruit chart, believe it or not. Look it up, trust me. I've heard people talk about that, how the way they eat, certain fruit. They're not gonna eat the fruit out of season, because now they're saying it's probably GMO, genetically modified, somehow. What are you gonna say?
You think our bodies change from different seasons? When it get cold, your blood thicking up and stuff like that.
I'm sure your body, of course, is gonna adapt to the seasons, right? It's gonna get prepared. It knows when the spring is coming or when the summer is coming. It's getting hot, so you start getting a little more, hydrated. So you start drinking more water, more fruits, to keep your body, when it gets cold, you beef up on, some food that you're gonna eat and you keep something warm, right? A lot of times, people drink tea all the time during the cold months. So, our bodies adapt to these. We had all 4 seasons, right? I know it's a little difficult down here in South Florida, because South Florida, I don't know, got 2 seasons. Winter is not really a season down here. It's like kind of like a fall in New York.
Cooling off.
Right, just cooling off for the summer, right? That we definitely do. This year was the first year I actually couldn't believe that it didn't rain the first couple of months in spring. That it actually waited until I say late May, maybe going into June, that it started really seeing the rain in June. And June is going into now, you're going into a different season now. You're going into the summer. And that's when the rain is very, it's not as much. Right? That's why they call it spring showers. Yeah. Right? Because the spring is when the flowers come out, when everything new starts over from the winter, and that's when the water comes out to keep everything fresh. But this year it didn't happen all the way until at least June. Then we started getting a lot of rain. It was really bad down here. So, and with that, Esau tried to control the weather, but we ain't gonna get into that. But that's what they do. Esau's trying to control everything. Mainly, what he's trying to control is the minds of the people. And he already got them controlled with the stimulus and all that, and all the other things, and with the vaccination and all these, people sometimes, I see people put some picture up of some vaccinations that they have for, it said in use, not for Africa, not for America, Canada, and Europe. So somebody in their feelings, they saw that, and there's a vaccination they're giving out to these people, but they're not giving out to to the people over here in America. It says not America, not North America, not in Canada, and not in Europe. You know what I mean? You got to understand that you are in different parts of the world. We are in different breed of people all over. There's different nations of people all over this earth. And not, everyone is getting the same shot. You got to understand that. Some people have different, made up differently. You know what I mean? We don't get a malaria shot here, do we? No. We don't get it because why? Who over here gets malaria? It's very rare, but some people do. And if they find out it's an outbreak or something like that, like something happened like in New Jersey, somebody got bit by a mosquito and found out they got malaria, they was on it. You know what I mean? Or not malaria, I think it was another disease. They got another disease and they were on that case right there. Yeah, it could have been something that the mosquito gives off when they bite you. When the mosquito bites you, they rub their little things inside. As they sucking the blood out, they're leaving off something else inside your system, and it made them sick. And when they see that Esau, he jumps right on it with his repellent spray. With the helicopter, they come by, and you see him with the planes, dropping all this green fog all over the place. You wonder what's going on. Esau is, he's trying to control, the insects. And all the different animals around the world. That's why they have alligator season, they have duck season. They have these seasons because why? Because they want to control the population. I don't understand why they don't have Negro season. It's probably now.
They do, it's year round.
It's year round, right? Right, control the Negroes and then take out a few, I don't know, man, but when you get a chance, like I said before, watch that Dave Chappelle show. He dropped a lot of jewels in there. And already they're trying to get him trying to get that video down because he said too much, man. And only Esau was picking up on that. Jake ain't pick up on nothing. Esau like a silly dove. Yeah, he's still sleeping.
Esau was in the crowd mad.
Yeah.
You seen the Cap?
And it was good, huh?
The Netflix.
It was good, huh? It was good. He dropped some stuff, huh? Just telling you. All right, we're going into the 9th chapter. We're going to finish this up. We got 2 more chapters to go. We stop at 11 and what?
32.
32? The whole chapter?
Yeah.
That's the whole chapter, yeah. Good. All right, the book of Genesis chapter 9.
Genesis chapter 9 verse 1. And the Most High blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered.
Look at that. All that stuff is delivered into the hand of Noah and his sons. Right? So these animals will never attack them. These animals will never do anything towards them. Because now the animals know that they rule, right? So at one point in time, we did rule this earth a number of times. And we will rule again like this, where we won't have to worry about, a lion or a tiger or some elephant is just walking around. They know who we are. Hey, that's the anointed right there, right? So they dread, even coming even close to us to do any kind of harm. Read on.
Genesis chapter 9 verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you.
Right.
Even as the green herb have I given you all things. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
Right. So the Most High already given the understanding, everything is good for you to eat, but watch out for the blood. Right. They knew the difference between what you can eat, what you cannot eat, because they brought it on the ship. Right. Read on.
Verse 5. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man.
Right. So if you kill another man just out of malice, something wicked, the Most High requires you to lose your life. It's a life for life. Right? Read on.
Verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed.
That's right.
For the image of the Most High made he man. And you be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the sea, in the earth, and multiply therein. And the Most High spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth.
Right, so you see the Most High is establishing this covenant, right, not only with Noah and his sons, but with mankind, that who is not going to what? Flood the earth anymore, right, with water. Read on.
And the Most High said, This is a token of the covenant, which I make between me and you, and every living creature that is with you, for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud.
You do what?
And it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth.
Right.
And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh.
Right.
And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between the Most High and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth.
Right, so that was another covenant that the Most High made, not only with Noah and his sons, but with mankind, with people on the earth. He said he would never flood the earth ever again. And how do you know that? Why? He said he put his bow in the earth. What is he talking about? His rainbow, right? The rainbow was between him and what? Man on earth. That he will never ever flood the earth again to destroy everything. Right? Yes.
There's no other explanation as to why the rainbow is in the cloud.
Right. Well, they got an explanation now. The alphabet people, they said it belongs to them. I was gonna get Sirach 43 and 10. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The way the light refracts in the water. I forgot what it's called. But when you shine light through a prism, it shows all the colors in the light.
Right.
So what we have here as visible light is light's on the spectrum. So we have what we call visible light, then we have infrared, and then we have ultraviolet. So the light that we can see, when light is shown through a prism, we see the colors. They separate when they come out the other side. So pretty much when sunlight hits water, you can see the light separate in the sky.
Yeah, I seen that thing one day. I was like, wow. I mean, I really wanted to get a picture of it. I couldn't really get a good picture, but it was so bright that you could actually look at the colors. It was like it was that close up where I was at. I don't remember where I was at. It was a while ago. But man, that thing is beautiful. And how Jake and all these other nations and take the thing and put on a shirt talking about it's gay week and gay month and all that stuff. I don't understand how they do that. And here, dead up, straight up in the scriptures, they tell you the rainbow so that the Most High don't curse that he wasn't going to curse the earth anymore. You know what I mean? Give me Sirach 43. Start at 9.
Sirach chapter 43, verse 9. The beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars.
Right, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars. Read.
An ornament giving light in the highest places of the Most High.
Read.
At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order.
That's right. At the commandment of the Holy One, they're going to be there. They will not cease. Read on.
And never faint in their watches.
Right.
Look upon the rainbow.
Look upon what?
The rainbow.
Around who?
The rainbow.
Read.
And praise him that made it.
That's right. Praise the Most High who made the rainbow. Because why? The rainbow is a sign. The sign that he made a covenant with the earth. And he said he wasn't going to flood it anymore. Read.
Very beautiful it is.
That's right. Very beautiful it is. Read.
In the brightness thereof, it compasseth the heaven about with a glorious circle. And the hands of the Most High have bended it.
That's right. Even they said the hands of the Most High bended the rainbow. Ain't that something? That rainbow went straight. Most High said, let me put a little bend on that bad boy. Hold that. Read.
By his commandment he maketh the snow to fall apace, and sendeth swiftly the lightnings of his judgment. Right, you see? And even I went there only because the snow, we talked about winter. The Most High created that too. Right? He created all the elements, and he's in charge of all the elements. Just know that, you know, like you said, as the prophet Isaiah said to the Spirit of the Most High, he said, I will not meet thee as a man. The Most High ain't got to come down here and do nothing to you. He come over and freeze you to death. Right? Or burn you up, turn the heat up to 110, you dare have a stroke. Yeah. There's a lot of people who died in Chicago one time. It got really hot out there, and people was just fainting, just dying, or a heat stroke, and it just take you out because it's so hot. You can't cool off. Can't cool off your temperature. Right? All right, read on now. Let's go back. Go back to Genesis. We had 9 and 17. The book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 17.
Okay.
And the Most High said unto Noah, this is a token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan.
Right. Ham is the father of Canaan. Read.
These are the 3 sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness.
Right.
And Noah,
go ahead.
And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. Verse 26.
So he said he was a curse because he saw the father's nakedness. Now he ain't had no clothes on. The other 2 brothers knew. They said, wait a minute, he ain't got no clothes on. So they backed up with their cloth. When they got close to him, they threw it over them so they don't see the nakedness. But Ham went and he walked in the room like he knew what was going on. Like I don't know what his issue was. He just walked in the room, saw his father nakedness, and said, oh snap, this kid ain't got no clothes on. Woohoo! You know? I don't know. Lucky he ain't had a phone back then. Probably took his a selfie, right? So now he went and told the brothers, and the brothers were smart. And they went and covered him up. But he said, now that you curse now, he said, cursed be Canaan, the servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren, right? So Canaan is cursed right now, right? And that's why them jokers ain't got no clothes on now. Still running around with no clothes on, right? Still cursed. Read on now.
Genesis chapter 10 verse 20, chapter 9 verse 26. And he said, blessed be the power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And the Most High shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years.
Right.
And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died.
Right. So Noah was a just man. He was a righteous man, and that was another reason why he lived so long, is because he was righteous. He was, was just in the eyes of the Most High. He obeyed everything that the Most High told him to do. He was one of those brothers that was righteous all the way from the beginning all the way to the end, just like Joshua, right? All the way to the end, you know, without a falter or anything, right? So that was Noah's got his blessing. That was a good blessing right there for the brother Noah.
My brother had a lot of faith too.
Yes, right. Yeah.
He had a lot of faith to do that.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
That's right. He heard the voice of the Most High, told him build that ark. He built that ark, and people said, "Man, you crazy." They went drinking and partying and everything like they doing now. That's why we go out there and tell the people, man, this place gonna be flooded. It ain't gonna be water, man. Well, we might get water in South Florida, but you know, you're gonna be flooded with the angels, man. You're gonna have to pay. You have to pay dearly, and it's unfortunate our people are not listening, but we still have a job to do, to warn them. That's our job. Con? Gotta warn them. All right, we're going into chapter 10. Let's pick it up. Genesis 10, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 10 verse 1 is where you see the Most High starts to divide the nations. You're going to see a list of men. These men are not just regular men. These men became fathers of nations.
Right.
Fathers of great nations of people after them. Genesis chapter 10 verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tyrus. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dudanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided, in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families, in their nations.
Right, so you see they were separated. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families, in their nations. So they were separated also by their languages. Their tongues was talking about their languages. Right, read on that.
Verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan.
Right.
And the sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, and Sabta, and Rama, and Sabteka. And the sons of Rama, Sheba, Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Most High. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Most High.
Right, so Nimrod, we read some history about him, right? He was a mighty hunter. He was one of those strong, powerful men back then, right? But Nimrod didn't want to serve the Most High. He wanted to do his thing, right? Back on.
That's where we get all the world religions from.
Right.
All religions stem from Nimrod and Semiramis and
right.
those legends that stem from him.
Right. That's right. That's what a lot of these religions come out of the Canaanite world. During this time, the Hamitic world, Easter and all this, or Christmas, all this stuff come from them. And you know what happens? Esau is the thief that he is. He takes it and put his spin on it, and then deliver it to us. You know what I mean? Right. This thing comes from him. Even when you go back to look at, Easter, right? It comes from the Greek, not Greek, come from the Egyptian goddess. What's her name again? Ashtar? It could be Ashtar.
Isis. Isis, right? But actually, it come from here, from Semiramis, mother of Nimrod.
Multiple ones.
This is one of don't worry about it, I got this one. This is one of the books that it really got me going. The Encyclopedia, right, of Gods. Over 2,500 deities. Right? This is somebody had time, and it's got to be Edomite. Time to sit down and put this thing in alphabetical order of demons, right? Trust me when I tell you, all the gods that is mentioned in this Bible is in here, plus more. Because I even looked up one. Remember the god of Moab? Do you remember that god name? Molech, or Molech, or the god of Molech. I looked it up under M. It came up. Right? Right. So, what's the other name? They got different names for him, but it's the same God. When you go into the New Testament, it's because of the language. But Rimphrat was one of the ones. When you look at Acts, the 7th chapter. So another God, and these are deities that plagued us with Israel because we always wanted to serve the other God, but not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See, our God has we have a bunch of rules and things are strict. We say, hey, listen, you could do this, you could do that, but you can't do this, you can't do that. You go to other gods, they're not real. You go there, you do what you want. You can go do, bestiality and other gods, and they're like, yeah, everything is good, right? Well, the Most High, He tells you that is not acceptable. You and the beast be put to death. I never understood that though. Like, you go to sleep with the beast, and the Most High put you. I understand Him putting you to death. When I was first hearing this word, but I was like, why are you putting the beast to death? When I first came in this word, I questioned, like, man, but what He put the animal for? He can't talk. He ain't say, come on, give it to me. Right?
Because the beast defiled now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I realized that after a while. But I was wondering, like, damn, the beast ain't do nothing. He ain't say, hey, come on over here and come get some of this cow. Right? It didn't work like that. You know what I mean? You went and took it. So it's unfortunate. Hey, the beast is defiled now. So, the beast go to the ground. The beast don't go to heaven. Everybody understand that? Right? His spirit go to the ground. So let's pick it back up again. What we going into? Hey.
I wanted to add something on the name Cush.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cush. Yeah.
Even today, these people, the Ethiopians, the Eritreans, they still refer to themselves till this day as Cushites.
That's right.
They say their father's is Cush. And you see Nimrod being a son of Cush. Let's go to the next verse. Genesis chapter 10, verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, Akkad, Chaldea, in the land of Shinar. Now, the Cushites, right, they inhabit East Africa. During this time, they inhabited where Babylon was previously, in that area. That Cushites that were over there, now you see today they're in a different location. So you see the nations over time migrated to different areas. Okay?
Salaka, yeah. So, like when you get into different arguments with different people, right? Because they'll take you back, they'll say the whole planet was called Ethiopia. Right? Yeah. Well, when you think about it, because at this time Cush is in charge, they're reigning from all the way from Shinar and into Ham's land, all into what we know as Africa. Right? So you gotta be careful when you gotta know who you get into argument with, because they using terms like Africa. These are boundaries that the white man has set out. They carved out what we know today as Africa. Right? But what we know as so-called Hamites at one point controlled from Shinar all the way down. So what do you call that? You know what I mean? That's just land that was controlled by, the controls of Babylon at that time. So, and then they try to, and the reason for those boundaries, the white man put boundaries over what we call Africa, is because they don't want to know that so-called, people of color control those lands. What they call Middle East today. They try to relegate us just to the landmass that they call Africa today. You understand? When it wasn't like that in history.
And also, Esau is always about control. He's looking to control everything. That's why he sets up what they call a no-fly zone. Certain areas you can't fly over. Well, you be shot down for real. I don't care if you're on a commercial jet plane, you got 500 people on there. If you fly over the wrong zone, they're going to give you the warning, and after the warning, you finish. Everybody's going down. So even now, they still ain't find out who shot down that plane. What's that one with those passages on there.
No, Malaysia?
I think it was Malaysia. They just
that one just disappeared, yeah.
Yeah, just disappeared. Out of nowhere? Come on. I have big 747. This the plane. Have you ever seen the 747?
Huge.
No. Yeah, I mean, have you seen one up close?
No, not close.
You seen it on TV?
Yeah.
No, that's not seeing it. That's not seeing it.
That's a flying building.
That's a flying building. Yeah. That thing is huge, man. That 747, that was one of their first ones. Bowie's a company that make these things. Boeing, right. It's a big company. There's another company that makes one. I forgot the name of it.
Flying building.
This thing, 747, is not even the size of the, that's one of the small ones. They got a bigger one, like a 757 or something like that. Some of these got an elevator in there. They got stairs inside. There's more than one floor.
I'm not playing, we be riding on it, nothing, huh?
That garbage, be flying on it damn like a tugboat or something like that. Yeah, that's like comparing a tugboat to like one of them cruise ships. You know what I'm saying? It's like nothing.
Right, soda can.
Right, like this thing is huge, man. And now this thing just disappeared. Just disappear. How do you make something big like that disappear? You know, a lot of people don't know, like the Bermuda Triangle. People think it's some triangle in the middle of the ocean. All it is to South America, and around that area in Cuba, right? It's just an area that where people go missing. The place is so big that if you put like a small ship in there, even a big ship is small in that area. So imagine the Indian Ocean. That's where that one was missing at, Malaysia. Right? That Indian Ocean is so huge, it's ridiculous. That a plane that size, if it fell into the ocean, that would be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's how I'm telling you. We just talked about how the water was flooded, how the earth was flooded, but what? The earth is mainly water. It's more water on this earth than it is land. So it was so easy for the Most High to let it rain a little bit and flood the water and bring the waters up above the mountains. He can do it now and flood this place out. What are we gonna do? You think our oxygen tank will last a year? You think we'll be able to build a castle under the ground and call it Atlantis? Esau has got an imagination, boy. I'm telling you. And our people bite into that thing all the time. He loved Esau's imagination, man. Yeah, Aquaman and all these different things. Esau got all kind of imagination things going on. I take my hat off to him. He's a master of deception. Read on now.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that land went forth Ashur, and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth and Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same as a great city.
Mm-hmm.
And Mizraim begat Ludim, and Anamim, and Lahabim, and Naptuhim.
And everybody know what Mizraim is, right? That's Egypt. Right. Read on. Go ahead.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And Pathrusim, and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistine, and Captorim. And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Het, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite,
right,
and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad.
Right, read on.
And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou goest to Gerar, unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah and Zeboim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations.
Right. So this is a breakdown of Ham. And if you see Mizraim in it, a lot of things that you see that were very important. You see the seven nations that came against us, right? And the Most High told us not to marry. The Jebusites, right? All those 7 nations. That's right. All in here. All stem from all. They all came out of Ham, right? And then after Ham had children, and then they started to repopulate the earth. Because that's what did the Most High tell them to do? Be fruitful and multiply. Right? That was to all of them. That was to all the 3 sons. What you gonna go into? What you got now?
So Sodom and Gomorrah was Canaanites?
Sodom and Gomorrah, yeah.
They're Hamites.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gaza?
Yeah.
There's five cities. Five
Yeah.
Hamitic
Sodom,
cities.
Sodom and Gomorrah. That's right. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber.
That's right.
The brother of Japheth, the elder. Even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber.
Right.
And unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. And his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begat Almodad, and Shelah, and Hazar Maveth, and Gerar, and Hadoram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan, and their dwelling was from Mesha as thou goest unto Separ, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations. By these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood.
Right, so after the flood, they started to have children, and they started to build nations. They started to be progenitors, right? And they started to split up. As you notice, Ham, out of Ham came what? Came out the Canaanites, the Jebusites, out of all of them. You know what I mean? So, as you read through the list, Cushites, all of everybody came out of Ham. Was the progenitor of that family. He was the father of that nation. You know what I mean? Of those nations over there. Give me Deuteronomy 32 verse 7 real quick. All right, because this is how the Most High separated the nations.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 7. Verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam,
right,
he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
For what?
For the Lord's portion is his people.
That's right. But the Most High's portion, he saved the best for him.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Right. Yep, Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So, just going into that, he separated them, that we should be separated from the nations. There's a whole reason why. We're going to read the next chapter. You're going to know why we separated. Read on out.
Genesis chapter 11 verse 1.
Right.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
Right.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city, and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Most High came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Most High said, Behold, the people is one. They have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language.
You see, the Most High said, let us. And not just him, right? Let us go down and do what? Confound them with the language. Read.
That they may not understand one another's speech.
Right.
So the Most High scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth. And they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel.
Right. Why is it called Babel? because it's called Babel, confusion, right? Babal in the Hebrew, which is called confusion, right? The Most High did that. Why? Because He confounded them with the languages. See, when you all speak one language, it's easy to convince one person to do another thing, right? I can tell him, hey man, let's not serve the God of this Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Let's go over here and let's do this God. He understands me, and I give him a breakdown. And I can convince him. But if I go to him and say, yo, I want to serve this God, and he be like, huh? You know, no hablo inglés. You know what I mean? Like, what you got going on? What are you saying? Now we can't even communicate. Now I'm trying to communicate with you. I'm trying to tell you something. People get frustrated. Even people today get frustrated when you try to, talk to them, and they don't understand. Well, I don't understand English. Some people, they speak Spanish. And even we take it to another level that we won't even listen to somebody if they're not speaking that language. Right? That's why we have our officer over here, Ariel, and we have our captain over here, Taziwan, to go and reach the northern tribe and speak Spanish to them, because that's what they want to hear. They want to hear in their language, and what makes them comfortable, right? So one day, it's a story, true story. We were out teaching on North Florida. I think that's North Florida, or it might be Margate, Montos Margate. We were out at the Bravo, man. We was out there teaching one day, and we was bringing out the word. We had a brother up there speaking in English, and a couple of, Levites was just walking by, and they saw and they heard the word, and then looked and went like this and kept walking, going to the store. One got up there, Sapase, Mabule, they stopped in their tracks. It was like zombies, like the zombie, like you pull out a brain and the zombie see the brain and go, and they get ready to run. That's exactly why they stopped in their tracks when they heard him speak. Just like that, right? Because they want to them, you're speaking in their native tongue. They don't know that they're Hebrews, of course. But when you speak Creole, you're speaking into them in their tongue, and they'll turn around and you're speaking about God. Wait a minute now, right? That'll get in their spirit, and they turn around and they want to listen, right? And a lot of them stopped and talked and had a conversation. So that's how it is important to us to go and teach this word in all languages, whatever language we know. We know French, we know Spanish. If you know Cantonese, goddammit, bring it out. You know what I'm saying? If you have to, maybe you might have a couple of brothers in the land in the plains of Moab sitting over there. With a little Moabitish woman and having some Chinese food or whatever, and watching a kung fu movie, chilling out, and then wake up and you bringing this thing out, and he's listening. So give me Isaiah. He said it best. He said, with stammering lips and another tongue shall he speak to his people.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people.
That's right. He said, with stammering lips and another tongue he shall speak to his people. So we know our people, they don't want to hear this word. Some people don't want to hear it in English. But, we're going to bring it out in all languages that we can speak. Right? He said, with stammering lips and another tongue. What's that other tongue? It's talking about languages, because we just read the tongues in Genesis 10 verse 1 and 10 and 10. Right? So the tongues is referring to the language according to the scriptures. So the Most High said, in another tongue shall he speak to his people. So this is why we have the Spanish class, so we can reach our brothers out there who don't speak English, or those who are more comfortable hearing the word in Spanish. Everybody understand that? Right? Maybe we could get another Creole class going, and French, and whatever else anybody speaks in here. All right? All right, let's go back. Genesis 11. And verse 8.
10. Genesis chapter
10, right.
Chapter 11, verse 10. Before I read it, pay attention to the lifespan of the people. Mm-hmm. We start from Shem till it gets down to Abraham.
Right.
You're going to notice it's going to steadily start to decrease. Genesis chapter 11, verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years, and begat sons and daughters. Arphaxad lived 530 years and begat Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Salah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begat Eber. And Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 430 years and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years and begat Reu. And Peleg lived after he begat Reu 209 years and begat sons and daughters. And Reu lived 230 years and begat Serug. And Reu lived after he begat Serug 207 years and begat sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and begat Nahor. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years and begat sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abraham and Abram and Nahor took them wives. And the name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. But Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran.
Right. So as you notice, you see Abraham, he got his wife Sarah, and Nahor, he took a wife too. Everybody remember who Nahor was, right?
Yeah, Abraham's grandfather.
Abraham's.
Nahor had Terah, Terah had Abraham.
It said, and Abraham and Nahor took them wives, right? And of Abraham's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah.
Well, there's two Nahors, the grandfather and
the grandfather and the okay. But this one's not the grandfather. No. This one is the brother. Right, because remember he had this Nahor had what? What was so important about him, Nahor? He had the daughters. Everybody remember?
Right. Abraham's brother had daughters.
Right, he had the daughters, and then after what's his name had to take the daughter. Abraham's son. Remember Isaac? Remember Isaac?
Yes.
And who did he marry?
He married his cousin.
He married his cousin. Right? Who was her? Her father was supposed to have been Nahor, no? No. She was under him though.
Right.
She was under him. Right. That was a big old misconception about her not having a father or something like that. But she was under him. Right? So, throughout for the portion in the Most High hand. Hallelujah, hallelujah. All right. And the social class portion today, all right? Social class portion.
That's all right.
That's all right, yeah, God. So, throughout for everyone coming out, throughout for everyone logging in that watch us online, please do remember your commitment. Those of you online, give to the troops. $, loztreasurecoast. Hit us on the CashApp. If you're not hitting us on the CashApp, then come visit us over here at the school in Port St. Lucie. Reach out to our Captain Inaw or Captain Yatazachaaq or Captain Bayath and give you directions how to get here. We're here every Shabbat, here every new moon. Only on the high holy days, the major ones for the year, is when we don't keep it here in Port St. Lucie. But otherwise, we're here. Please, your donations are important. Give generously, because this is how we keep the school. This is how we keep the doors open. And currently, right now, it's pouring down raining. So those of you that are in the area, you can come and keep the Shabbat with us. Come on out. Come sit down. We got space. We got room. And some refreshments. Right? With that being said, Shalom to the nation of Israel, and we'll pick it back up again next week Shabbat. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Pause it up. All right, hold on for the prayer. Sleepy Daniel, boy, all that energy guy finally went to sleep. The Gadite sleeping.